The first of two videos you guys are going to get today on the Cowboys Report is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all their incredible men's grooming products when you use promo code COWBOYS at manscaped.com. Let's begin with the big injury news on Tony Pollard as the Cowboys' maybe best back is currently dealing with a foot sprain that he allegedly suffered on his long touchdown run against the New Orleans Saints. Now, Pollard did not participate at Wednesday's practice. We'll see if he's a full goal limited or DNP on Thursday later on in the day once we get that injury report update. The Cowboys are currently hopeful, by the way, that he is able to play against the Washington football team, and the goal in terms of his practice prep is that he's going to be out there. We will see if that ends up being the case. We'll have to monitor it throughout the week. Pollard this year has been an awesome number 2 back, if not the number 1 backup, at least in that top 2, top 3, top 5, whatever conversation. Him being out, especially amid the injury concerns around Zeke Elliott, which we'll get to here in a little bit, would be a big red flag for Dallas. They have only one other healthy running back on the active roster. That is Corey Clement. Now, they've got practice squad guys in Jaquan Hardy. They've got a practice squad guy in the running back Nick Ralston, who's out of promotions. Keep that in mind. And they also recently added Ito Smith, so some veteran insurance there. All of those things, though, add up to at least some concern, some worry about Pollard. If he's not out there, if he's not 100%, how do you juggle a suddenly banged up, injured running back room and core for the Dallas Cowboys? Now, we're going to spend some more time on Pollard and Zeke here in a minute, but I want you guys to head down to the comments section and freak out if you need to. What is your concern level over the current Tony Pollard injury? Use a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you're not worried at all, 10 being you're freaking out. The Cowboys are lying. It's worse than they let on. His career is over. It's not a 10. It might not be a 1 either. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, head down to the comment section and let me know what you're thinking. I myself am at about a 2 or so right now. I am inclined to believe the Cowboys when they leak to the media that he's going to be fine, but it is at least a bit of a potential red flag from that perspective. I hope that Pollard's going to be fine and able to play. I just need to see him get some semblance of practice work in. Sounds like it is a minor issue, but we'll have to monitor that. Plus, the Cowboys have handled their running back injuries at least somewhat weird this year because Ezekiel Elliott is clearly not right, and everybody with eyeballs can see that he's not running the same way he was at the beginning of the year. But Elliott says he's good to go amid his knee injury. The Cowboys have not been limiting him at practice at all, which is kind of weird because, frankly, I would give him a vet rest day every Wednesday. Why does he need to be out there at practice? He's a veteran. He doesn't need more practice reps. He's clearly not right. And the entire Cowboys ground game, as we've harped on here at the Cowboys Report, has not been right for weeks at this point. And I think it is obvious that Elliott is not operating at 100%. The real question is he at 90? Is he at 80? Is he at 75? Zeke says the knee's getting better. He's going to be fine in a couple of weeks, that it can't get worse by playing on it. I hope he is right. So I want you guys now to let me know how healthy you think Zeke Elliott is. Use a percentage here. Is he, well, he's not 100. Is he 90, 80, 15? That's probably above 50% right now, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments. My hope in the end is that this little mini bye the Cowboys are coming off of really helped. The Cowboys treated it as a bye. They didn't practice on Saturday or Sunday. They gave the guys rest and recovery time. I hope the extra time off really benefits Zeke and gets him closer to 100%. Now, if you want to have some more success off the field this holiday season, use Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products on the internet when you go to manscaped.com and you use promo code COWBOYS at checkout. If you don't use that promo code, You're not going to get 20% off, and you're not going to get free shipping. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have a 3-week-old daughter if I didn't use Manscaped, but it certainly didn't hurt things. So if you want to have some success, try out Manscaped. It's a perfect holiday gift for yourself, and kind of by extension, hint, hint, wink, wink, pun intended there, also benefits your significant other as well. Lawnmower 4.0, manscaped.com. All right, the injury report now for the Cowboys. We mentioned Zeke and Tony Pollard. 2 other guys at receiver on the injury report. Cedric Wilson was limited on Wednesday with an ankle. I think he's going to be okay. Noah Brown, however, I don't think is going to be the case here. He is dealing with a groin injury that head coach Mike McCarthy has called a multi-week injury. It does not take a brain surgeon to identify what's going to go on here. I think it is highly likely, if not the expected outcome, if not a plan already by Dallas, he's going to go on injured reserve. Multi-week, I interpret as at least 3 games. Put Noah Brown on IR, and the Cowboys will still be fine at wide receiver and on special teams before he makes his biggest impact. Noah Brown this year got some run with the injuries and COVID situation for CeeDee Lamb and Gallup and Amari Cooper, and the results were not great. The drops were a major problem for Brown. But with Cooper, now I think 100%. With CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, both 100%. Plus Cedric Wilson getting healthier. And frankly, as we'll get into, the emergence of Malik Turner suddenly, there's really no need for Noah Brown at the current moment. And oh, by the way, that, as we'll get into again, will help benefit the Cowboys from a roster management perspective. I'll explain what I mean by that later on. But I do want to shout out Malik Turner. He's impressed this year, guys. I think he is in line for more work with Brown out as part of the Cowboys wide receiver rotation. He's shown he can handle and step and at least catch the damn football, unlike Noah Brown at points this year. And he's a significant special teams contributor as well. That is exactly what you're looking for in your number 5 receiver. So I feel good about the current situation involving Malik Turner. Now, what I don't feel good at is this. The Washington football team is gaining ground on us. I wanted to double up the football team's actual official YouTube channel, and we are not trending in that direction, which makes me very sad. Again, if that happens, the Cowboys are guaranteed to win, and I get to be the new football team owner. And I promise I won't trade all of their good players to the Cowboys. So hit that big red button and subscribe for more free videos. Let's double up a poverty franchise. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. A popular idea out there has been, well, could the Cowboys sign Zach Cunningham? First up, Brian Broaddus reports don't expect the Cowboys to claim Cunningham off of waivers, and I frankly think that is the correct decision. There is some contract stuff going on here. He's cheap this year, but Cunningham has a significant portion of his salary guaranteed for injury next year. At least that's reporting to Over the Cap. And that's a situation I don't want to get into because that's why Dallas cut Jalen Smith. Oh, by the way, Cunningham, who once was a really good inside linebacker, is bad now. He did not play well for the Houston Texans before he ended up getting cut. He was a solid run support option, but he's gotten even worse in coverage this year, and that's a problem for Dallas and for any team. So if he goes unclaimed, I would have a little bit more interest, but I'm not sure how big of an upgrade he is over Leighton Vander Esch, and you guys know how I feel about LVE right now. Frankly, I'd rather make Keanu Neal a little bit more of the number 2 linebacker behind Micah Parsons. You can utilize Jaron Kearse hanging out in the box. So I understand the desire to add help at the position. That's very fair, and you should always explore it. But I think after exploring it, the Cowboys are right to say, it's not really the route we want to end up going. And, I'm not sure how much of an upgrade it is in the end. So what do you guys think? Would you sign Zach Cunningham? If you could promise me like 2018 Zach Cunningham, sure, let's ride. But 2018 Zach Cunningham is not getting cut. So let me know what you guys think. Why for yes and for no? You guys get to play the Joneses role of GM. Before we go, I do want to mention this. The Cowboys are going to have to make some roster moves here. At the current moment, the Cowboys have 52 players on the active roster. Now, in the event you put Noah Brown to IR, that would bring it down to 51. It does not include, however, Nahshon Wright, who is currently on the COVID reserve list. It is a reserve spot, which means he is not counting against the active roster. And that puts the numbers game back in the forefront for Dallas, because they are set to get back two key players on the defensive side of the football. Randy Gregory, according to our own Jane Slater, says that she would be shocked if Randy didn't play this week. I think he'll be back out there. I would expect to see Neville Gallimore back out there as well. If Nahshon Wright is returned from that COVID list, which timing-wise, I think he could be in time for the game. That's not a guarantee, but he'll be back next week in theory. That means barring more injuries, the Cowboys have one too many players on the active roster, including Gallimore, Gregory, and Nahshon Wright, even with Noah Brown going to IR. So, who do the Cowboys cut? They did this with Bradley. Now, they got to make some roster moves to get that numbers game working out. Now, the injuries have helped Dallas from that perspective, but the math doesn't currently work out. So let me know, because I'm going to give you 5 names in a second, but I want you guys to shoot your shot early. Who does Dallas cut? It's not going to be a big name. Don't get your hopes up for LVE. I'm sorry. Here are 5 cut candidates I think make a lot of sense for Dallas. We'll go in reverse order. Matt Farniok is kind of their backup center, so he's my least likely candidate. Will Grier, I think he can get into the practice squad pretty easily, but Dallas likes having 3 active quarterbacks, but he's been inactive most games, so that makes sense. Sima Fehoko could have been cut, but with Noah Brown going to IR, I think they try to stash him on the active roster for the rest of the year. The 2 names that make the most sense, Azur Kamara and Quinton Bohanna. Kamara is only a special teams player right now. That's not that valuable with Gregory coming back from IR. And Bohanna, who I think has promise as a run stopper, is not all the way there yet. I think both Kamara and Bohanna you could sneak onto the practice squad. I would cut Kamara before Bohanna, but with Gallimore coming back, you don't need Bohanna. He might not be an active player for you. So I think those first 2 names are ones to monitor on Friday and Saturday as potential Cowboys cuts.